Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
Six people just rushed to the hospital after a violent high-speed crash involving 4 vehicles. Violent crash inside a construction zone on I-94.
Police say a driver going more than 100 miles an hour is to blame.
Every day, there's an auto accident happening. Lately, it seems like drivers are more and more erratic than others. Some are fatal, and thank God many are not. Our guest today on Ask the Messengers is Artesha Washington, the director of Irvine Head Injury. Irvine is an organization that has helped people with auto accident recovery for over 30 years. On this episode, Ms. Washington shares some insight on the services they provide and answers some questions related to statistics, laws, and help for those who have experienced an auto accident. The Ask the Messengers TV show begins now.
The families of Daniel Mixon and Nakia Payton were still coming to terms with the tragedy that took both their lives as they gathered to remember them Wednesday. A man driving the wrong way on I-96 in Detroit crashed into them Saturday morning, killing Payton, a mother of 5.
Every day I just think about all the moments that we did laugh about. And just seeing her smile.
And severely injuring her partner, Daniel, who died hours later at a local hospital.
Nothing in the world could amount to the amount of pain that I'm going through is losing my father. Not just a dad, he was a father.
State police say their dispatch center began receiving calls of a wrong-way driver traveling westbound in the eastbound lanes of I-96 around 3 a.m. Saturday. Then came another call. That driver crashed into Mixon's motorcycle, Payton in tow. Michigan State Police suspect the wrong-way driver may have been under the influence, and they say he has a previous alcohol offense.
You have to understand, y'all can't be out here drunk driving because stuff like this happen. You take people away from their family. You can't say sorry because sorry's not going to fix the problem.
July 11th, 2021. Leaving my house this particular morning, I had no idea what was about to take place. It was a normal day. I went to the gym to play basketball with my nephew, and from the gym, I went to check out my new place that I was moving into in a few weeks. Once I left the house, I hopped right onto the John C. Lodge freeway heading home, and that's when things took a turn. I was on the freeway for about a mile in the middle lane, and I just so happened to check my left side view mirror, and I saw a dark gray Jeep Cherokee driving up behind me pretty fast. It seemed like he was going at least 90 to 100 miles per hour, and I did not move because I assumed he was going to change lanes and go around me. I went from checking my side view mirror to checking my rear view mirror, and by the time I checked that mirror, it was too late. The driver tried to change lanes at the very last second, but was too late and hit me. My car immediately started spinning out of control, spinning to the left side and bouncing off the left wall and causing me to hit the right wall straight on, causing the airbags to deploy. Once that happened, I blacked out for a few seconds. By the time I regained consciousness, the car was at rest on the right side of the freeway, and I immediately hopped out to check myself and check for the other driver. Unfortunately, the other driver fled the scene. A few people did stop to make sure I was okay, and 911 was called. Through the grace of God, I was able to get out of the accident with only minor injuries. Since that day, I have experienced mild PTSD while driving, and I have been avoiding freeways as much as possible. That accident definitely changed me.
What are some of the serious injuries that Irvine has encountered, dealt with? Just share some of, from the not so to the most so.
Irvine treats multiple issues as it relates to injured individuals. We talk about spinal cord injuries, people being wheelchair dependent, that could be orthopedic, or that could be a spinal cord injury. But the thing about those is that you see it, it's visual. So they're more likely to be able to access care because there's no denial when you see a spinal cord injury. When you see someone that was walking last week in a wheelchair this week, you know something happened, there's no deniability. A brain injury, on the other end, you can't see it, or at least not all the time. You can see maybe a scar on someone's face where they may have had a surgery. You can see things like that, but you cannot see when the brain injury does not require surgery. For that reason, access to care of a brain injured individual is 10 times harder, because you're constantly making an argument over what not only caused the brain injury, how do we prove the causation of the brain injury? And after you prove the causation of the brain injury, well, then what symptoms come with that causation of the brain injury? And then how do you treat that particular area or those symptoms that you can almost concrete are related to the injury itself? So for that reason, you know, both are extremely difficult to manage, but for that reason, a brain injury can be a lot more difficult to manage and make an improvement on.
I remember reaching for my cell phone when I was airborne off the road.
Sam fought back from a traumatic brain injury.
I had to learn how to walk, talk, eat by mouth, and socialize again.
Always stay focused on the road. It's the best call you'll ever make.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
Artesha Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine Neuro Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvineneurorehab.com.
The world is opening up, and when it opens, you want to be ready. Concerts, clubs, weddings, dinner with friends, or just hanging out. Soon, Detroit will be back, and you know how we do it. For 3 decades, Fashion International has been here when you needed to look your best, and that time is coming again. Check us out now. We have the latest styles to have you ready for the new normal. Fashion International, 10 Mile and Greenfield.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available. If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWIHN, along with its provider partners, strive to educate young people on the deadly dangers of alcohol use and abuse. We teach youth about the dangers of drinking, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help.
In Michigan, marijuana use is now legal for adults over 21. It's legal here, and here, and here, and here. But there's still one place in our state where it's not legal, and that's here. Marijuana impairs coordination, slows reaction time, and distorts perception, which all increase your risk of a crash. Don't drive high. It's the law.
Last year, I was arrested for a DUI. Listen, I was on my way to school. I had a blunt, I had weed on me, and I was driving. I'm just gonna tell you guys a real story. So yeah, I had a blunt, I had a weed on me, I had the blunt rolled before, you know, when I got to my destination and I could smoke on my lunch break because I was in beauty school at the time. So, yeah, and I was driving on my way to school. It was the day before I was gonna graduate. You guys, yes, the day before I was gonna graduate beauty school, I was arrested for a freaking DUI, not for drinking and driving, but for being high while driving. So I was on my way to school, and I hit the car in front of me. Smoking weed has really affected my life. I just can't stay out of trouble behind it. I got in trouble for a DUI, and also, so I got arrested for that in 2019, and then in 2020 I got evicted from my apartment for smoking weed there. So you guys can understand why stopping is kind of important to me, like how I just don't want to do it forever. I want to like not be dependent on it, you know. And it makes it harder because I'm pregnant and I'm like so nauseous and sick all the time, and it just makes it harder for me to stop right now. But I do genuinely want to stop. Like, I hope after I have my son and, you know, I get out of the hospital and I'm breastfeeding him, that I can just stop during that time and not, you know, pick up where I left off. I really want to get it out of my life because it's really just, it's not worth it anymore. Man, now I got a whole DUI on my record.
I always tell him that I think he's meant to be a light in dark places. And that's why dark things sometimes happen to us.
How do I go about my life and make it meaningful enough for what had happened? I don't know how I do that. There was a lot of things that I did wrong that led up to it. My mom and my stepdad had gone up to the mountains for the weekend. The party is just like the typical party. A lot of people are drinking, a lot of people are smoking. I instantly started smoking. That was probably the first thing that I did. At some point, Bo comes up to me and he's like, man, all the girls left, like the girls that he was talking to left. I'm like, oh, okay. So I leave with Bo and I tell Jack, yeah, come ahead and come to park and ride and meet us there. Everyone just got into the car and we drove to the house. We pretty much got denied. We got told that we can't come in. Now I'm drunk, angry, and driving. It wasn't even like, yeah, I'm gonna take the quickest way and go right back to the house. It's like, I'm gonna drive fast and kind of go for a little joyride almost. I remember Ryan saying, slow down. It's so weird how fast it all happened. It was over, I had no control.
Marshall, are you there?
It's weird when you see death.
Marshall, can you hear me?
Looked at him, and after knowing this kid for so long, I just knew that he wasn't there anymore.
It's just impacted a lot of people.
When you see him, it's almost like he's like vibrant with just life, right? And it's just gone. And I'm thinking that because of me, 2 people are dead, and 1 is seriously injured and in a wheelchair right now, and he's not able to walk. There is no way to make it right. There is nothing that I can do that's gonna make this better. There's nothing that will make the families feel better.
I come down about these days about every other weekend, you know, back down here in a couple weeks and it'll be fine, but that's always tough.
Well, I love my mom, so it's always the best.
I've always been proud of Marshall, but I would say this transformation, I'm really proud of who he's become.
I don't have any ambitions to drink. I don't have any ambitions to smoke. If I could take back anything from the night, it'd be the drinking and the driving. You gotta think about what you really wanna get out in life. And you gotta realize that you don't need anything else but you to get there.
Get through that belt. Antonio Mason sits in a hospital room wondering if he will ever play basketball again. A stolen car traveling at over 100 miles per hour hits Antonio from behind.
The second-year guard had basketball dreams to carry him to a 4-year school. Mason is recovering in the spinal injury unit at Metro Health.
Night of the accident. It's a blurry night. I don't remember the car approaching me. I don't remember it hitting me. I remember going up the pole or anything. I just remember waking up the next morning with family members crying over me. The way my car looked, it was crazy. It was tough, and they telling me I got hit by a drunk driver. So I knew I had a son on the way. The basketball season was about to start. The first thoughts that went through my mind when I couldn't move my legs. I asked the doctor immediately, do you think I'm ever gonna be able to move them? A year later, therapy's helping a lot. I can get myself dressed in and out the shower. I can pick my son up and toss him around if I want to, you know. My upper body's getting pretty strong, you know, but everything's still healing because it's only a year later, you know. They say it can heal for 2, 3, 4 years, you know. It's a very slow process of healing. The mental part is tough. You know, you have your days when it's just so sad and depressed and you just be like, how do I do it? But then you look at your son and your family and you say, I know exactly how I do it. It's still a lot to live for, you know. Going to see them guys helped me so much because I know how bad I want to play the game. And it's like a second home. You just get to see the guys run up and down the court, play and, you know, yelling. It's just like you're right back in practice. I miss anyone driving drunk. Don't do it. You can change someone's life in the matter of seconds. You know, everybody makes mistakes, but that's a mistake that you can avoid.
How long does it take a person to recover?
So that depends on the injury. So as a lay person, if you hear, oh, so-and-so fractured or broke their arm, you may think it's one break, right? But the reality is that break, that one broken arm per se, can have 5 breaks to the bone. So for that reason, the level can vary as to how long it will take for the rehabilitation to occur. So the best thing is to get good diagnosis in the beginning so that you can effectively treat it. With a brain injury, it's kind of like I said, with a spinal cord injury, because you cannot see it, it's hard to address it. And the examinations are really costly to identify the level, the areas of the brain that require the most rehabilitation. And the brain, unlike your bones, your brain does not necessarily heal. So you really learn techniques to compensate for your brain injury deficits. So like some people end up with a speech impediment as a result of the brain injury and may start to stutter. Well, there are techniques you can learn in speech therapy to help you get past the stuttering. You can end up with memory deficits. You know, you can't recall, but you can learn techniques such as, you know, things to put in your cell phone, things to write down, notebooks to carry, so that you constantly train yourself to reflect on your day's task so that your memory does not become, does not stop you from moving forward and reaching your maximum independence. But the key is you only have like the first 3 years of brain injury you make your most significant gains in the first 3 years. So if a person is not quickly treated to identify, develop a plan of care, and get involved in therapy, then the likelihood of them returning to their previous level of functioning becomes more and more difficult. So access to care, immediate care, is crucial, which is why going back to a tort system could truly be detrimental to injured individuals and their rehabilitation plan of care.
Can you explain, this will be for another question, what is tort system?
So toward no fault, everybody, and I remember when I first got my driver's license and bought insurance, no fault sounds horrific. Oh my God, no fault, no fault, no fault. But the reality is it really was the best insurance. It continues to be the best insurance, which is why I think, we still have this name of no fault. No fault essentially meant you get what you pay for. If you bought unlimited benefits, you got unlimited benefits. When you were involved in an accident, God forbid, if you were involved in an accident, what you purchased is what you received. And it's still like that today, but every which way possible, it's being advertised to reduce your benefits. So someone that has never accessed full no fault potential doesn't understand the benefits of full no fault. So essentially your bodily injury you purchase, which is like almost long and short pain and suffering. You purchase your collision amount, which you purchase your deductible, right? So you get what you pay for. You purchase unlimited PIP. If you're involved in an accident or anyone else is in that car involved in an accident, there's an unlimited benefit for you to access for medical treatment. So tort takes it away from what you purchased. And like, say, for instance, you purchase a $250,000 cap. Well, $250,000 is pretty much an OR visit. So that's like going into the hospital with a broken leg, having broken leg surgery, your bill is about $300,000 with 3 days inside the hospital. So you get out the hospital, you only purchase $250,000. Well, there's this extra $50,000 in bills you're going to receive. And so the new tort allows you to sue the person at fault. So like in Ohio is a tort state. So the person at fault is constantly being sued. So what Coleman Young did was made it so that you got what you paid for. No fault reform allows you to go past what you paid for and sue the other person that is at fault. The problem is because if your house becomes liable, your savings becomes, at risk. Everything you own becomes at risk.
We'll be right back with more of Ask the Messengers.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at textinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
More than 2.5.
My name is Artesha Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine Newer Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvineneurorehab.com.
Here's an accident that was caught on Facebook through someone's cell phone and a post from the family whose loved ones survived this accident.
All the kids was over there at the park, rehearsing, practicing rather. Stupidity. This happens every month on Greenfield. More stupidity. More people getting hurt. Innocent people, they putting their lives at risk for this dumb driving. Period.
Won't you help us to do exactly what our motto is, and that is to help save lives? Won't you send a generous donation to the information there on the screen? We would love to have you as part of our partnership to help save lives. You may not be able to go out in the street, you may not be able to come here to the show, but you can send your donation that helps us save lives.